live. It's your boy Zoda Session Podcast. We in the building. I got my boy Etherio Noon in the building. How you feeling today?
What's up, bro? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. Well, thank you for coming out, man. Making it all the way out.
No problem.
Appreciate you. So yeah, man. Let's get started. I mean, you've been blowing up in the past year on a fast track throughout the city, bro. So it's only right that I brought you in. I've been taking some time to check you out. You know, look at what you got going on. And so I got a lot of questions I definitely want to ask you. But for starters, bro, where you from? Where you from? Born and raised? All that jazz?
I'm from Chicago, born and raised.
Really?
I grew up out west and north side, so
Okay.
both sides. I don't really like claiming anything really, but for sure. Well, I just mainly say I'm just indigenous to this land.
Indigenous to the land.
No matter where I grew up at.
Yeah, no cap.
You know, so.
But you're a Chicagoan though, full blood.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Chicago, born and raised.
Okay.
Sure, so.
All right, for sure that. And now, I mean, one of the most obvious questions. I'm pretty sure you get this a lot. Etherio Noon. How did we get this name?
Well, I'm Niji, meaning I'm indigenous to the land, but I'm also Ethiopian. I know a lot of people think like Ethiopian is an Africa thing, but it's really a worldwide thing because it's Ethiopian means ether utopian. Ether is basically melanin, and utopia is paradise. So basically, ether utopian. So that's what the word Ethiopian means.
Well, didn't they say like the first life pretty much started in Ethiopia?
Yeah, the entire landmass was called Ethiopia at one point. Before it even split up into the continental drift, it was called because we have a paradise of melanin, like as far as indigenous people of the earth. So.
You think that's like a play on the word ether?
Yeah, that's the point.
And like how they were getting power from the ether?
Yeah, because ether is melanin in physical form, but you also have neuromelanin too. So your skin melanin matters, but your neuromelanin matters the most.
Neuromelanin.
Yeah, neuromelanin is like, cause without neuromelanin, your body wouldn't function at all. Like it's like it helps your body, it helps you function because ether exists in everything. There's nothing that don't have ether in it.
Yeah. So
ether is basically what you would say called the primary creative forces. So that's where my name stemmed from because I'm an ether utopian, but I'm also indigenous to this.
To this land of Chicago.
To North America,
right.
Yeah, basically. So it's like, it's me staying true to who I am.
Your roots, for real.
Universally and historically.
Nice. Hey, that's a very cool ass, like, because, you know, I don't know if you all know, like, most people might, if you first time seeing it, I'm a history, like, junkie. Oh. You know, I do my solos with history and all that shit. So for you to know some of those things like that and then be incorporating that into your name, like some real meaning behind your shit, instead of putting Lil in front of your shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
No disrespect to anybody with Lil in front of their name. But that shit wasn't thought out, gang.
No, for real, that's too easy.
It's too easy, gang.
Yeah, for me, because I always want to represent. I'm not afraid of who I am, and I'm proud of who I am.
Yeah.
I think everybody should be proud of who they am.
Of course.
But not even get too deep. It's just that they want to erase our history, and I ain't letting that happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm big on that. So you feel that too? As if like
they want to erase us. Yeah.
You think that's
why
the
they call
thing
us
too?
Black. Black is not a race.
Yeah.
That's a derogatory term. I'm not a black man.
Yeah.
Black history was created to have white history.
Yeah. Also like black magic.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? But black magic not a bad thing.
It's not.
Black magic, but that's the thing. Anything that exists can be used for bad if you use it for bad.
Facts.
That's just like saying a gun is violent. It ain't the gun that's violent, it's the person that has it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
For me, it's like, nah, I'm going to make sure that I represent and I'm going to continue to represent. So I made sure that my name shows that Ethereal Noon, Ether, Noon, and Noon is my spiritual science.
Okay. So you do a lot of studying then?
Yeah. I self-educate myself for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a lot of people don't know about me because I don't flaunt it.
Yeah.
But I'm very well equipped with knowledge and I'm not no fool. So
yeah.
But I just because I'm an observer, so I talk a lot, but I don't have to go around saying, yeah, I'm intelligent, I'm this, I'm that. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact that when you know who you are, you know where you going, and you know your purpose just based off that. So our purpose is based in figuring out who we are as a people, and being having pride and dignity in that. So,
okay. Now, this person you are today, right?
Yeah.
This self-educating. I don't know, motherfuckers. I guess today would be saying woke motherfuckers.
Yeah,
You know.
well, yeah.
But just off even just your appearance, right? Because like your appearance is it's part of who you are. You know, a lot of people go through a bunch of different things to try to figure out who they are with their appearance and whatnot. Has this always been you? This like curious, creative person?
Yeah, I always been exactly who I am today. It just didn't happen yet.
Mm.
You know,
In what sense? Like, what do you mean by like? I kind of know what you mean, but I kind of want our people to get it.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Jack, it didn't happen
So,
yet? Because there might be people
right.
literally fighting for their identity right now, and might need to hear this. So, what do you mean by it just didn't happen yet?
Meaning that you just gotta be patient and let it cultivate, because every time is an illusion. The past and present and the now exist simultaneously. So when something didn't happen yet, that doesn't mean it didn't happen yet. It just wasn't placed yet.
Yeah.
Because everything already happened. That's going to happen.
So you believe that, I don't know what the term is, but that your story's already written. Like, what is it called? Predestination? Or
yes and no. I say
me.
yes and no because can't nobody determine your fate but you. Because your fate is based on the choices that you make. You make your choices and your choices make you. But also, those choices is already made. It just, again, it wasn't placed yet in time. But at the same time it's so dope the way the universe works. Yeah. It's supreme on both sides of the opposite.
It is.
And it's like understanding how it works is like that's one of the most brilliant things, because I came to understand myself better by understanding how the universe works. The nature of nature.
Yes.
The mind of nature itself, good and bad. So it's like, I won't even say good and bad, negative and positive, the cycles, the spring,
however you want to put it. We just put words behind our descriptions. I get you.
So it's like I've studied that for a long time, and it helped me understand who I am because of that. So for me, it's like you know who you are by figuring out where you come from, and we all come from the Creator. Creator itself is everything.
Yeah.
All, you know what I'm saying? So once you understand that you are everything, there's nothing above or below you. There's nothing more important or less important. Everything is everything. So when you gain that mindset, you don't need to be in competition with nobody. You don't need to fit in, because fitting in means that you out of place, and you're never out of place. You always where you're supposed to be.
That's a bar. That's a bar. Fitting in means you standing out. Damn. That's a bar. No, that's real knowledge, bro. I thank you for that. For real, for real.
No problem.
That's actually real knowledge. Like that resonates with me. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's actually dope as fuck, bro. I appreciate that.
No problem.
That's really dope. Honestly, I'm not like real shit, G. So just picking back off of that, like, so you got a great understanding of like who you are and what you do. So just talk to me a little bit about things like, so how did your hair come about? You know what I'm saying? Because I, as a shorty, a lot of people don't know. I had freeform locks as a shorty. Okay. So this is very interesting for me. Talk to me a little bit about your hair journey.
So I started my hair in 2017. I wanted to do something different. I was like, I don't want to keep getting the same type of haircut. I wanted to explore my, my kingy hair. So I'm like, hey, let me just get some locks, but I didn't want traditional locks.
Excuse me.
So I had my sister to lock it halfway. So I told her, don't lock it from the root, lock it from the top into the so middle,
it just forms,
so that I can have a platform for them to stand up, because I didn't know where it was going. So it was getting longer and longer. So ever since my sister did it for me, I've always maintained my own hair, did it myself, washed it myself, retwisted. So it just went through different phases throughout the years. Like it got long to the point where it was in my face. So that's why this part came. This part actually came about because I was a hooper. So
and you had to
I had to put it in the ponytail. And I was like, I actually like this. I kept it like that, and I would wash it, retwist it, put the rubber band back in it. So throughout time, it just stayed like this, because a lot of people don't know woolly hair is magnetic, and water can form it into and water holds it together as well. So woolly hair and water makes it stay in a certain place.
Once it dries, it's
exactly.
I remember you wash your hair, and once it dries, you got that little
stay like that.
Few minutes to get it where you want it to go, and then when it dries, it's
over with. So it's like. So all of this was, I just was going with the flow. Like, this part. I made locks out of it because I had more new growth because I was making my own. Like literally, I made this myself and I made this part myself. Yeah. So I created a platform. It just was a natural thing. But I feel like again, everything happened for a reason. I feel like it was meant for me to have this style, else because it naturally happened. And anything that naturally happens means that's what's supposed to happen.
What's supposed to happen, and that's crazy. And it's crazy because I just had braids, and one day I just woke up this week and I was like, I'm just cutting my hair. Like I want a military cut.
Nah,
like I ain't
gonna lie, you do look like
a
sergeant.
no. Like I was like, I literally said like, bro, I want a military cut. I don't know what it was, but I was just like, bro, forget it. And everybody's like, damn, you cut your hair, and I'm like, bro, it's hair. It's gonna grow back. Yeah. I'm healthy. Yeah, I'm good. It's only a year's worth of growth.
I think it's because because certain positions in like the military had certain haircuts to show their position. Yeah. And since you manage people and like
but like
I feel like
it was more. You know what? It was honestly more of just like a mental lock in for me. Yeah. Because like when you got braids, you got to keep. Well, for me personally, if I'm not gonna have braids, I'm not gonna keep them up, and I got to keep them up. I got to keep them really nice. I like to look nice, but for me, it was more of a thing of just like let your appearance go for a while. Yeah. And focus on everything else. So just to take some more things off of my plate to put more energy into other things, literally. Yeah. And so I was like, bro, fuck the hair, just buzz it. Yeah, you feel me?
But no, that's what I'm saying. It fits you though. Like you literally look like because it's crazy because like your appearance match your position that you are at your your job. So it's like. You lead men, and usually the dudes that you seen with that haircut, they leaders of the men. Facts. So it's like that's why I say like. You might think of a thought and think it's random,
but it was placed. Nah, no cap.
You know what I'm saying? It's coming because it's coming from you. But you gotta understand, your you is connected to everything.
Yeah, that thought was downloaded from something.
Exactly.
Like you feel me?
Think from the mental reservoir. So
facts.
Thoughts is shared.
Facts.
So, but thoughts have energy as well and frequency, and those certain thoughts that's on your wavelength and frequency is gonna be the thoughts that influence you if you able to not be programmed by things that's not
outside, right? So it's more so and you're big on frequency and being able to raise your frequency or lower your frequency. Yeah, sure. So what are your takes on like your spirituality? Like what are your beliefs on this world?
Well, I'm a spiritual person. Again, I have a spiritual science. It's not based on a religion. I'm not religious. I don't have beliefs because I'd rather know something than to believe in something. Okay. So I always tell people we got to start changing the words that we use in order to stop the programming. Because a lot of people grow up believing in things, belief and knowledge and knowing.
And don't even know why.
It's opposites because you got to believe in things that you don't know. If you don't know something, you got to believe it. That's why you don't know. You can't read somebody's mind, so you got to believe if they telling you the truth or not. But do you know if they telling you the truth?
You never will.
You can never really know if they telling you the truth or not. You can only go off
your belief.
You know what I'm saying? But that's okay because, hey, you're building rapport. But when it comes to yourself, you know if you're lying to yourself or not. So instead of believing in things, know yourself. That's why they say believe in yourself. No, don't believe in yourself. Know yourself. Because you can believe you're capable of something you're not.
So that's why you say we got to change the verbiage.
You got to change because the power is in the words. That's why they say in the beginning was the word or whatever. Religion.
Yeah, I know what you know.
Was a thought. Yeah. Because thought is the most powerful force that exists. Thought moves everything into creation order. But the thing about that is that if words have power, then what you say is power. What you believe is power. So the words that you allowed to be prevalent in your life has power. Everything has power, but especially words because words are to people. If somebody come up to you and say you an ugly ass motherfucker, that's gonna resonate to you. You're gonna be like, who do you think you're talking to? That's power. Yeah. The words was just able to change you from
your
one
whole thinking
condition to the next. Exactly.
So imagine if you were able to like lock in to where your mind is so stonewalled that nothing could penetrate. Yeah. And change and alter your thought process. Like,
and that science is called killing the ego. That's all that is.
And that's what this haircut I think was for me. Like almost a slight ego death.
Yeah. Because you're not caring about your appearance. Like a lot of people gotta understand like being contentment is the way of life to be in this dimension because when you sway by either side, that means you're being manipulated by one or another. So if you're able to stay neutral about things as opposed to doing things that need to get done as opposed to doing it whether you like it or not, it's two different things. Because most people do something that they like or dislike based on ego.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like a lot of humans can't truly comprehend the way the universe works because it don't work on ego.
Yeah.
Like let's say for instance, nature, a tornado. Some people just died. You may not understand why, but they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, life come and go.
Yeah.
But when you really truly think about it, if you know that you are the all, and whether you die or not, don't mean you stop existing.
Fact.
You just leaving this.
You leaving this plane. You leaving this physical.
Just changing.
Yeah.
That's it. You changing from one point to the next.
Mm.
So the fear of death is one of the reasons that holds us back from uniting, because a lot of people sell out their own people for money because they get threatened or something. Like, fuck that.
Or they
me,
fear of
whatever.
hunger and starvation
you know
and
what I'm saying?
homelessness.
Like,
and
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, we got to learn how to sacrifice for the future. Like, you know, because I think people sell out because they only thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
When you put something above you that's greater than you, which is the people,
Yeah.
because that's what it's all about, the people. People are always more important than your individual ego.
Yeah.
So
I always tell my shorties, like, we not living for ourselves. We living for the shorties after us.
exactly.
Just like the ones that did whatever they had to do to get us to this point. Like,
Exactly.
we think we somewhere, and it's like the kids, like my daughter, they're gonna have way better positions or opportunities or whatever it may
Better
be
technology
than
too
us.
and
Like, just
everything,
even
but yeah.
understanding than we are. Just off how we're talking right now. Like, I mean, almost like, my grandparents, if I talk to them like this, they'd say I'm a fucking fool.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just 2 generations later, we're in a whole different understanding of like who we are,
Yeah.
and more importantly, who we are internally.
Yeah.
Other than just trying to figure out who we are in this fucking avatar.
Exactly.
You get me?
Exactly.
So, like, that's actually, like, what you're saying, bro, is something that I'm, like, been trying to preach for a very long time to people. And I'm glad you came in to do this interview. I'm glad we just got this done. Because that's a very, very important thing, is, like, people got to tap into the inside.
Yeah.
Like, who you really are, you know, understand yourself, understand this universe. Like,
Yeah.
if you don't sit back, this on some hot shit like all the time with me, but it's like if you don't sit back and try to think like, bro, how did all this stuff start and why is it here? You're kind of crazy.
Because the when, what, where, why, who, nature of, ending of, and purpose of is the questions that is the answers that we should have for everything in existence. Yep. Everything that we deal with. Who is the who is the what? What's you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't think we deal with those questions because a lot of people, like believers, they don't answer the what, who, when, where, why, who. They just go off.
They just go off the belief.
That's it. They go off. They probably just go off one aspect of that question of the what.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? It's God. But who is God? They don't answer
They
that.
can't
They might
answer
say it's Yahweh, but Yahweh in Hebrew means good and evil. That's a title, not an actual.
That's not an
person
actual.
name.
Yeah.
So it's just like, where? They say heaven. Where is heaven? You can like. We have to have knowledge, and people really think that they cannot find the truth to these things, and you can. There's nothing in existence that exists that you cannot know the truth about, because the fact that it exists means the information pertaining to it is out there.
Yeah, it is.
It's everything is always recorded.
Yeah.
Like, your government may lie to you all they want to, but you can uncover anything. It's up to you. That's why I say self-education is the best education.
Self-education is literally the best education.
And these words matter. We got to stop calling ourselves black. Black is an
I agree.
axis of color. We're not black.
I agree.
We indigenous.
Yeah.
Before they was calling us Negroes and colors, they was calling us Indians because we are the real Indians.
That's a fact, I believe.
So it's just like, we got to know who we are to know where we going, and we got to, and I tell people all the time, stop, if you're going to believe, even if you're going to believe in yourself, believe in your people. We give Jesus more power than we give our own people.
Which is crazy, right?
Jesus not here.
Yeah.
He not here.
I hear you.
You didn't see him get up from death. You weren't there.
Yeah.
Stop living in the past.
Yeah.
What we got to do for I now.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, I tell people, fuck, excuse my language,
No, you
but
good.
F, God, devil, fuck all them.
Yeah.
Let's focus on our people, because guess what? When you do good, evil can't penetrate anyway.
That's a fact.
So it's like, let's let's create our own. Let's work with each other. Let's come on, like what are we so worried about all the religious stuff we do, all this praying we do. What's changed? What It's not going to change until we believe in our unity and know that divine love conquers all. So we have to love each other and work together. Like one last point.
Yeah, I'm listening.
How you see we can go to a movie theater and go see Black Panther, a fictional character, and give a movie theater millions of dollars, but we can't do that for ourselves,
for our own people.
Like, how much money do we spend on other stuff? This is why we need alpha. See, people think that be obtaining information. Information comes from within.
Yeah.
We getting information, and information ain't always the information. Information is two different things. So we're not really getting information. We're getting information that's foreign to us. Mm-hmm. So
we're getting someone else's information.
Exactly. See, it's a word. That's why I say the wording. This is why words matter.
With you.
You can put yourself in your own. That's why I call it spelling, because it's literally a
spell.
Because what you think is how your life will be. If you really think that, not information that you getting is information, no, that's really affirmation. That's like when somebody be like, "Why you talking behind my back?" If you talk behind somebody's back, you talking to their face. Your face is behind your back. Mm-hmm. That's idiotic to say, "Oh, you talking behind my back." That means I'm talking to your face. Now you gonna say I'm talking behind your face is the real word.
Yeah,
this is
like
how
we're literally confused, bro.
Exactly.
We
but
dead
we don't
ass
know
confused.
the spell so subtle that it works like that. It always starts subtle, and because the creation is growth, and creation could be destruction or it could be benevolent or malevolent. Either way, it's still creation. But that's how they create programmers, because it's a subtle programming in us that on our day-to-day talking, we don't even know what we're saying.
We're absolutely fucking hypnotized.
Yeah, for sure.
Damn.
Sure. Yeah. But I feel like the beauty in that is that when we rise out of it, it's gonna be tremendous. It's gonna be tremendous. Life ain't nothing without challenging. Imagine being an angelic being living forever with nothing to do. Hey, the greatest story of misery is becoming the greatest love story ever told.
Yeah. It ain't no fun if it's easy, you know.
Embrace it.
Yeah. No cap, man. Hey, this is starting to turn out to be one of the greatest interviews. If y'all like what y'all see, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. It really helps the channel. It really helps me bring in guests like this. Etherio New, man, this is an amazing conversation. I want to pick your brain a little bit because I love the way we're going with this. And just because I had a talk with another guest on my podcast named Drelly, another artist, and we were going over like astrology, just because we're on this spiritual thing. I just want to know your take on things like horoscopes and how people feel about astrology and things like that.
Well, first off, in order for us to truly understand astrology as Nijis, Nubians, I like to say Nubian. I like to say Nubian Niji as our genetic makeup and our historical and I would say earth-born names.
You got it.
We got to go off our calendar in order to really get it right, because the calendar we use is not ours. The Gregorian calendar is not ours.
See, there you go. So now that's one of those main things that, like, when you go to preach it to people, they just don't want to hear it because of their beliefs. Yeah. And it's like this calendar's been changed, like, from what we know, like 3 times.
Yeah. And we got to realize this calendar is going based on seconds. Seconds is secondary time. Moments is the primary. Our time was in moments. Their time is in seconds. So we're constantly living in second authority.
Can you break down the moments in seconds for me?
So moments come before seconds. Moments add up to seconds. So which means that if you live in a moment, you're living in real time. When you live in seconds, you're living in secondary time. This is why they go by seconds. 1 second. Seconds is second.
Right. It already happened.
Exactly. What's the first? So you're not living in your own time. This.
So they literally confuse your ass from
you're living on that time. Literally, I'm telling you.
Ooh, it's some mastery.
Yeah, that's
sick.
That's what I said.
I was like, that's some mastery level thinking.
That's pure. That's top alchemy, top chemist,
yeah,
type science.
That's top.
Which means that this what goes to show you that
that's
we
top.
are dealing with forces that are
Elite.
Well, I'm talking about we deal, but that's the thing. Ain't no force out there that exists that we can't reach. Because now ether, which is what is our spiritual prosperity, is the greatest. And we gotta learn our now ether again. That's why I'm glad this solar eclipse is happening on April 8th.
Yeah, it's about that time, right?
Because for one, you got
It's a new download package.
this the dope part about the solar eclipse, because April is what, the 4th month,
Yeah.
right? So in the eclipse is on the 8th. 8th is in the number 8 means an infinity, right? Infinity is associated with what? The universe or life itself, existence, because it can't end even if it wanted to. And then the 4th, which is the infinity, in the 4, which is the 4 sets of the primordial waters of they called it the Ogdog. The Ogdogs was basically the it was 8 gods or 8 angelic beings that existed in the primordial waters, but it was 8 of them, one male and one female for each set, but it was 4.
I get you. 4 sets.
April 4th, April the 4th month, and the solar eclipse 8, which is dope. And the solar eclipse this eclipse is gonna be giving out information, upgrading people DNA that's existing on that frequency, that's not being spiritually enslaved by the system. So it's a lot of changes coming. So I'm super excited. So as far as the astrology stuff, it's real for sure.
Yeah.
It's just that we got to get back to our original calendar that surrounded Tararek, which was the matriarch, the Black Madonna, the Big Mama, right? Tararek was the female deity that which is what they stole the Jesus story from.
Because the whole Bible is taken from something else and then rewritten for whatever.
They took it from the Torah, which is the 4 Gospels, the Enumu Elish, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and the Sumerian tablets. So they compiled the Bible from our ancient stories.
Yeah.
And they switched the names around. They turned Jesus into a man when it's really a woman, and all type of stuff. So it's like, it's all been about the chess game. And the chess game is what you win when what happens when you checkmate the queen. A lot of people got to know this whole war is centered around women. This is about the woman.
Yeah.
Mother Earth. So Mother Earth is the woman's throne. So the Black Madonna, this is what you get the Big Mama from. Big Mama is the matriarch, because our original civilization, or not even civilization, our original way of life was the matriarch, because the woman protects the kids, and the kids are the future. This is why men are created to protect both. Because if you don't protect the woman, who's gonna take care of the kids? Although the men do take care of kids, but that's not the
kids want the mama to take care of them.
Yeah, that's true. But it takes 2 to tangle. But the man is. This is why we built the way we are. This is why we naturally strong, because we are supposed to. Because what needs protection? The greatest asset in life itself, which is the divine feminine, that needs to be protected. So masculine was created. So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we have to protect that, because our future is the kids, and everybody come through the womb of the woman, which is what you call the oracle, right? So nobody would exist without the woman, and then the woman carries the mitochondrial DNA. The mitochondrial DNA is the main source of energy in every cell in your body.
So let's talk about the woman, because that's something we don't talk about much on the podcast, but there's something that I have a child, so I was able to
You got a daughter.
That's
dope.
It's even more dope, right? Yeah. So I was able to see the greatness of a woman, and I think pregnancy is the greatest greatness on earth.
Literally,
there's
the woman
nothing
is heaven on earth.
Literally. So we need to. I want to pick your brain on what you said. The feminine energies, Mother Earth, and all that jazz. Talk to me a little bit about how the universe and women correlate.
Okay, so the way the universe works is, or not, we should say nature, because nature is everything. The nature of nature. The study of the nature of nature is studying the matter of nature, like I said, in all of its forms, in all of its in both of its mindsets, because it has a positive mindset and a negative mindset, which is what you get life and death. Everything is based on opposites, which is balance. So everything invisible has a visible representation. So, for with that being said, you have space and matter. Space is nothingness, matter is somethingness, right?
Yeah.
So matter creates matter while space is germinates the matter. So if you take everything out of a room, all you have is space. Space is the immovable and matter is the movable.
Mm-hmm.
So remember when that riddle, what happens with an immovable object meets an unstoppable force?
Mm-hmm.
Creation. Because you can't move space.
Yeah. Mm.
And if an object is immovable, then you don't need to move it because it's existing, it's creating. So the woman is matter because the two words to matter is MA, which is the Ma. This is why the primordial waters is considered the primordial waters is female principle, is the mother, because it holds the it's the adobe of the great father, which is the Kaminu. Again, it's the eight angelic beings, the Ogdogs. The a moon is a moonette, hat, ha-hat, cat, cat, and what was the the fourth one? A moon. Oh yeah, and noon and noonette. So that's why they call the primordial waters new, which is the same like So with that being said, the woman is super important because for one, she represents the primordial waters that everything is created from. Because matter is female principle, space is male principle. Because space is spelled S-P-A. P-A is the pa and the ma. Space, matter. This is why coming together is so important. This is why the whole ordeal is to keep the genders apart. The man and the female bickering and arguing about stupid stuff that they can literally conquer. Like, just recognize y'all differences and reach differential harmony. So yeah, like I said, you got a daughter, and a lot of what we don't get taught is that your daughter is your legacy, not the son.
And I feel that more and more every day.
And that's because, again, the woman,
I'm like, she really the one carrying the bloodline, bro. It ain't my son.
The bloodline because of the mitochondria. The mitochondria is, again, it's the mitochondria is the oxygen in every cell in your body, and only the woman carries it. You get the mitochondria from the woman, from your mother. The woman carries the seed and cultivate it. That's why they say your mother is your first teacher, because you are learning while you in the womb, not when you come out.
Yeah.
So
they say you can hear
everything. You are aware.
Taste from your mother, what your mother's eating.
Yeah.
Breathing patterns, just habits, the basics,
That's why you can come out as a baby with trauma, because everything is genetic.
Ooh.
Everything is genetic. The genetics is the record of your bloodline. It's the Akasha records. The Akasha records is the genetics.
And that's why they have shit like archives.
You know what I'm saying?
Sick.
So the woman must understand that. See, women have been lied to by the patriarch system. You got to realize the patriarch system is the father, because the patriarch, the key word of patriarch is PA, which is the father. But it's not the fact that it's the man's fault. It's a patriarchal system that's built on a double masculine energy. The matriarch is built on a balance of feminine and masculine energy. So we went from a Shu Tefnut resonance. Shu is the wind, is the spirit, and Tefnut, Shu is the soul, and Tefnut is the spirit. That's why they say you have to become one with yourself, because when you balance your spirit and your soul, you become oneness with yourself. So Shu was a male deity, and Tefnut is a female deity. Right, the spirit and the soul, the wind and the moist, the water. Tefnut is the water, Shu is the wind, spirit, soul. So that's why they say the face of God moved upon the face of the waters, because your spirit and your soul, your spirit submits off blood and water. You know what I'm saying? So, but I say all that to say that the woman is the key piece to getting everything back that they took from us, because she is the throne of earth, right? The matriarch is the true government of Mother Earth. This is why they call it Mother Nature, Mother Earth. It's the woman. The woman is the key because she XX chromosome. XX chromosome is powerful, more powerful than the XY. We may be stronger than a woman, but women are the closest thing to perfection in physical form.
Yeah.
So
facts.
this is why like I said, I'm not religious, but some of the scriptures that they got in the Bible they took from us. They say the closest you can't go through God but by me, meaning that you get closer to the God by becoming one with your woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because the universe is built on oneness, and to be together as one means that's the closest that you. That's why if we don't unify as people to become unified, which is one, we're not going to experience divine love. Divine love is the source, right? Love creates everything, right? It even created hate.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because I wouldn't even necessarily say it created hate. It just
But
was
I
a
know
mirror.
what you mean.
Hate is a mirror of love because it's trying to be something that you can't.
Yep. It's going against the grain.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
So like that's why I say like the woman got to understand her power. We got to teach our women that y'all are way more powerful than they telling y'all. This is y'all planet.
Yeah.
You know, we here to protect y'all and make sure that we live in one and continue and further our generations through through y'all bloodline. So, and I think a lot of women and
you know what though?
I think they feel it, but they don't know how to register it to information. Nobody is telling them what they're going through. Cause a lot, you know, you'll come across some women that's masculine. You're like, damn, she masculine. But some women are masculine just based off trying to change because I feel like a lot of these women change on purpose to deal with hurt as opposed to changing and dismantling hurt. See, a lot of women out here are finding ways to cope with it as opposed to dismantling it. So it's just like, don't be the hurt that you are getting. Become better than that and just don't allow it in your life. Yeah. So a lot of times we got to protect ourselves from ourselves, and I don't think a lot of people know how to do that. But the woman for sure definitely got to know that that's why the word feminine is feminine. 9 is the highest number in existence. That is completion. That's why I say 9 ether is our spiritual prosperity. 9 ether is our spiritual power. We are at our highest when we are in tune with 9 ether, right? And if 9 is the highest and a woman is feminine and she XX, everything points to the woman. Yeah. Facts. As far as anything powerful, even fruit. Literally. Motherfucker got an oracle in there, coochie. Yeah. you see the middle of an apple, it look like a woman. Yeah, literally. Because the female is matter.
Yeah. There's not many things in nature that look like anything of a man. Literally. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. It's almost as if we were low-key created from a rib. You know?
Exactly. The story, and that's what I told you. Everything is told in reverse. Yeah. The woman did not come from the man's rib because it's impossible to get the XX from an XY.
Yeah, because even in the story how it says God breathed life into Adam, and it's almost like that's kind of how he does with a baby. It's like, when a baby's it's like life is just zapped into a woman, bro. It's like a life. You get me? Like it's just zapped into, and that's not happening to a man. Yeah. So it almost all points to
the woman.
A woman, literally. I want to pick your brain. I know we don't got too much time, but we talked a little bit about before Planet Nibiru. Yeah, and a little bit about that because a lot of people do not know about Planet Nibiru or Planet X is what there's the official term about it is. If you don't know, go to NASA and see about it. Talk to me about what you believe about the Planet Nibiru and the beings that exist here and there.
Right. So yeah, Nibiru is basically the 9th planet they call Planet X. It's there's multiple Nibirus because Nibiru just mean a planet of the crossing. And you got certain planets that move because they just basically ships. But this Nibiru in particular is like one of the ships or planet. They call it the mother planet from my ancestors come from. The beings that came down here and mixed in with the beings here and created us.
Yeah.
So doing a lot of like gene splicing. That's why like let us make men in our image. That's because beings were actually being made due to their genetic splicing and genetic manipulation and things like that. That's why I said let us, because it was more than one God creating humans.
Facts. And you think it was more so like, see, I always thought that because even the way they explain like the Garden of Eden, and like once they exiled Cain and they put angels with fire swords in the front, it's almost like, bro, y'all put guards to guard what?
Exactly. Who you guarding from?
Who are you guarding it from?
And it's like this.
It almost sounds like a genetic, like military, like human making base.
Basically, that's basically what it was. So, because the first people that was created from these people from Planet X, or the mothership Nibiru, was the Sands people. They was created to work the mines for gold, because Nibiru needed gold for their planet in the 19th galaxy, because they ozone was depleting, and they got 3 suns in a solar system. So their planet revolves around 3 suns. This is why they say God's time is different than ours, because they existing on a whole different point time reference. So people that be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to heaven." Do you know you have to be reassembled in order to exist in a time, because your body will not be able to take it, or your mind. You're not on that level yet.
That's why you go through. That's why your spirit leaves.
And not only that, this is why you have to learn how to be angelic again, because we fell from grace. Enocytes means a forgetful being. That's all Enoch was, a enocyte, right? Enocytes, because we forgot who we was. We forgot our history. We forgot everything. So we became forgetful beings. So we have to enlighten ourselves back into God's state.
And do you think that goes into like things like astral projection and shit like that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like astral projecting. Because, because what happened was the 4th dimension collapsed into the 3rd. There was beings that made that happen. So this is why it's a lot of stuff going on. That's why certain beings were able to come here and avatar here and then get to manipulating. It's a lot of stuff going on. I know it sounds far-fetched to people,
but this is the idea, because a lot of people don't even know to think this way, and know that there's a lot of people who've done a lot of studying of this. It's not like this is just our first like accounts.
Right.
There are people who have taken years of their lives to study these things, follow the tracks, self-educate, and learn some of these things that correlate with some of the things that the outformation we've gotten, like the Bibles, the goddamn science that's followed up with some of these things. And some of this stuff is just not mythology, bro. Some of this stuff is actually real, because there's no way there's so many people that think about these things and get these same downloads, and it's fake, you know. So it's a good thing to, it sounds far-fetched, but you even touched on the point about the asteroid belt.
Right. So the whole point of religion and all that stuff started because again, when you have beings coming from out of a ship from another planet and you don't know nothing, you gonna call them gods.
Of course.
So
I would.
We called everything God.
Let it be a big ass ship slide over here, bro. God, Jesus is back.
You gonna call them,
repent,
especially if they got technology. So we were thinking primitive that we wanted to call anything that we didn't know how to explain God. And it's just like, no, there wasn't God. They were just your ancestors from a different galaxy that came here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they just have further technology because they existed before you.
And do you think that some people from like some of the shit we be uncovering and shit that look like it was just left here, you think they dipped on some like technology advanced shit and got up out of here and then be coming back for real though? Like,
what happened was, so when they got here and they were manipulating like the genetics and stuff for the humans that was here, and because they was mixing their genetics with different beings, some of the ape like beings and some of the beings that were already here too as well. So it's been a lot of genetic mixing and splicing going on. But again, the first people they created was the Sands people. Those like the Chinese looking African beings that's up in Zimbabwe, and they got
slanty eyes.
Yeah. Those what you call sans people. So they like real high, they like high yellow, light skin. So that's why a branch of like Asiatic stemmed from them, because when the Hindus mixed with them and was creating the Chinese people. But also a lot of the Chinese people came from the Teros, which is like beings that exist in the caverns of Earth. They got the cone heads, is what you call the cone heads. But when they created the Sans people, they also created the Sumerians, right? The Sumerians was created by them as well through genetic splicing and genetic, because they were mixing they genetics with the beings that was here. So this is what you call Nubians. Nubian just means a new being, because it was new beings that they were creating. So when the Enosites was created after that, that's why a lot of the ancient biblical stories, all the stuff came from Sumerian. Because Sumer, which is the same as what Iraq is, the old Sumerian civilization, and
they found a lot of shit about the Sumerians in Iraq.
And the Anunnaki taught them what they knew, and that's how
they came up with those tablets.
So the ancient Egyptians are the Sumerians. The Sumerians are woolly-haired Nubian beings, us.
Yeah.
And so once they got the gold and all that stuff and they left, they weren't able to ascend because they weren't supposed to interfere with our evolution. So they had to come back and teach us and build us up, because you can't create beings and just leave. Like, they need knowledge. They need resources.
Why do you think they come back? Why do you think they didn't just leave us to be like, fuck it, figure it out?
Because they cared. You know what I'm saying? You had some that cared and some that didn't. The ones that cared came back. But the head of the Nibiru, which is what they call Anu. Anu is a title. Whichever being that is the basically the king of the ship, they came back for us as far as to raise us up. So because that's why you probably get so many stories in different civilizations of somebody coming back to teach agriculture. There's a lot of civilizations. Yeah, because a lot of them are master scientists. Like, they're really, but that's the thing. That's why I tell people, ain't no difference between a god and a human. The only difference is information. You can literally become a god by learning.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worship anybody. That's the thing. We were worshiping these beings and we weren't supposed to. Why would you worship your brother and your sister?
Yeah.
That's all it is. They are kin. They are kin. That's it, you know? But it was a lot of manipulation going on, just like you got the story of Inky and Enlil, the brothers that was into it. Enlil children don't like, no, I feel like I don't want to get too deep on that.
I know what you know though.
But it's a lot going on.
To sum it up, guys, it's like there's a lot of history that's erased and, like he put it, information. So it's someone else's information and put out to us in the way they wanted us to know it. It's his story at the end of the day.
Yep.
And the history you may be consuming might not be the history that's the true story. Some of it might be true in terms of like recent knowledge and stuff that we can like account to, that you can like go ask someone about, that they were like know someone, that type of thing. But when we're talking ancient history, the beginning, where we come from, who we are as people, it's like, do some research, do some homework.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're curious about it, I mean, start with, if you need a good place to start with whatever religion you've been following your whole life. Start there and question whatever questions you have about that, because it might lead you to somewhere that might lead you to somewhere that you never knew you'd be.
And what I always tell us, like, for one, I would say this from the top of my lungs. If y'all listening to this, stop calling yourself black. You are not black. Black is not a nationality. Black is not an ethnicity. We are the indigenous people of this land, right? This land was called Turtle Island. This is the original Atlantis, Atlant. This is why Atlanta is the capital of America. And America came from the word Amexum, when we first, the Olmecs, right? The Olmecs was the first people over here. That's what the Aztecs called them, Olmecs, because the Aztecs was our children. And the Aztecs was created because we mixed in with the Hoshin from the 46 Shang dynasty, right? But they was Asiatic Chinese Mongols. But a lot of people don't know that the original Mongols and Chinese were dark-skinned beings. right? So that's what you get the native or the Indians from.
Hey,
right?
Chinese people they're pretty dark.
Yeah, because they come from the Teros. The Teros is beings that live in the caves, but they call coneheads, but they were dark skinned. But some of them were light because they were also mixing in with the Flugeroids that live in the caverns as well. So it's basically like when you mix dark with light, you get light skin. So that's why some of the Chinese are light skinned now because of the mixing in with the Flugeroids as well. So, but my whole point is this: we're not black. You know, we're Nubian beings. We're indigenous to this land. We didn't come from Africa. We're not Africans. You can't say I'm an African when we were over here before Africa was created. Africa came from what the emperor Africanus, because Africa means to divide. How you gonna say we came from Africa when Africa didn't exist when we were over here? So it's just like this been the whole, because a lot of us don't know who we are, and I want us to know who we are. Black is not a nationality. Black is it's a status. White is a status. White and black is a status. It's a racial component of divide and conquer to keep the people fighting amongst each other. It's not a race, it's a class. When you consider black, that means you are colorless. That means you have no identity. This is why they give us Black History Month, Black Lives Matter. We are agreeing to this bullshit. We're not black, and they're just sitting back laughing at us. We got a lot of politicians that's hiding behind politics, acting like they here to help. They're not here to help. Right? They're not telling you that once you vote, you become a citizen. To be a citizen means that you are under their legal fiction, meaning that you are agreeing to be a slave under their contract.
Literally.
Meaning that once you are a slave to their contract, this is what you call what's the name? A bargain, meaning that you pledge yourself to the conditions or the conditions of their contract. This is why black people have no rights. You don't, because you don't exist. You're dead. Dead people don't have nothing. So a lot of us, when our people were signing up to vote, they were getting their land taken from them, and they were taking those lands, giving them to immigrants, the same way that they doing right now, because United States is owned by foreign people. They pledge to themselves to foreigners because they are foreign. The IRS is foreign. The United States government is owned by foreign people. That's why it's privately owned. So everything about this is foreign. Meanwhile, they telling you that you black because you really indigenous here, and everything here belongs to us.
So we don't know for real.
Exactly. So stop calling yourself black. Do your
Stop
research.
doing it. Do your homework.
You're not black.
Yeah. So let's get a little bit into the music, man. I know you just shot a video. What you got dropping, man? What you got going?
Thank you. I just shot my video for Party Weekend.
Okay.
It's coming out soon. I'm gonna have a video release party soon. I'm gonna have the details.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out what spot I want to have it at. I got 2 options right now. But I just dropped my project called Afternoon.
Okay.
On the 18th, March 18th. It's dope. It's 7 songs. It's an EP. It's R&B. Honestly, it's amazing. I've worked on it for about a year.
Nice.
I wanted to put something out that I really enjoyed and that I really knew will be great. And I took my time with it. I didn't rush it. It's a beautiful project. My objective is to bring real R&B back. R&B is connected to love, and we got to bring back that love frequency. We got to change. It's too much rap. It's too much rap going on. This rap is the new crack. You know what I'm saying? Because they programming our people to say we ops to each other and nothing like, nah, we got to bring back real love, and love conquers all. And in order for us to change the projection of what we want to, of where we going to get into a better place, especially for the future, which is the children, we got to bring back R&B. R&B is love frequency, which leads to better love. So that's my purpose.
Yeah. You think that's why people, like, you hear people always say how, like, the 70s, 80s, and 90s was some of the best times? It's because, like, motherfuckers was singing.
Yeah, it was.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they love songs and shit, though. Like,
really
motherfuckers was loving on each other in them times.
It was purpose behind the music. It was less crime. We wasn't killing each other in masses like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like now we're doing the work for these people that hijacked the culture and got us worshiping these artists that we shouldn't even be listening to. Really, don't get me wrong. Power to all the artists that's doing their craft and found the way and doing their thing. But at the end of the day, we got to know that we control what we listen to. We supposed to be creating our own and implementing what we allow into our communities. We are sitting back and letting people give us our leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no.
Yeah.
So
we got to take back our power, which has been music from the jump.
Music is the universal.
Yeah.
Music is universal, and it's a universal language that we all speak, and we got to speak it right.
It's really a magical thing, man.
Yeah, it really is, and it puts music changes how you feel, how you think, and everything. It's really can be used for good and bad.
Yeah.
So since it's been used for bad for this
so long,
we gotta
reverse that.
Yeah, so. I'm here to bring back real R&B, y'all.
There it is, man. Etherio Noon, man. I appreciate you for coming out, man, to the session.
No problem, bro.
A great
I had
interview,
fun,
bro.
Man.
I appreciate you. We gotta have you back, man, so we can just talk more, keep educating the people. We're gonna make sure we get your Instagram and all your socials and stuff put up, and your EPs. I'm gonna get all that pictures and stuff put up and everything like that, so everybody can check it out. Etherio Noon, man. Appreciate you. Zoda Session Podcast, man. We signing out.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love always.
You know that.